All right, here we go. Update, a little Sunday, a little early work. Gotta go run some errands, but decided to take a quick break. Got the car turned around, as you can see. Gotta do some welding on this side, do a few more things. Did get a little bit of progress done. Got the sidebar mounted on this side. Kind of a last minute decision after I cut it. I had to cut the bar off and re-weld it and angle that up right. So that the door would clear, which now it does. It does not hit anymore, so that's all it took. Welded it in. You can see I did a little bit of grinding, trying to clean it up. Get the weld in there. Still got to do some more, a little bit more, but I'll get around to that side later. It's kind of welded up. And from the side, the bolts, you can see they're welded. So it's bolted in. I put nuts on the inside and welded those in a long time ago to where I could just bolt it up. And of course it didn't fit right. And the door drug a little bit. So I got that all redone, and it is very sturdy. It ain't moving nowhere. You can stand on it and shake the whole car. It's not going anywhere. So that was fun. Got that part done. As you can see, I put the seat and the steering wheel in just so I can move it around, make it easier to move. Get my daughter to sit in there and drive, hit the brakes, and just help push it in. Did a little bit of more body work up here on the side. Got the other catch welded into place, so that's on there. Just got to finish cleaning it up, then I'll be able to put the side on and get this sanded and cleaned up. Still a little bit more on this side. Welded that up, started doing a little bit of body work on there to clean it up, just to cover over it, get it clean, but it's all welded into place now and solid. A little bit more up there to do. But the seat, it's pretty good. There's the bar on this side. Took the plasma cutter, cut it apart. Of course, it used to sit on there like that, and it was angled wrong, and it just pulled it up too high, so it needed to be down a little bit lower. So I'll just take and cut this down, re-weld it. It's a little better, holds it down. Got to grind some of the welds out. And you can see where it's welded all the way across here. It's not all that. It doesn't look all that great. I just got it where it was welded in real good. Wasn't worried about it being super pretty. That's when I rebuilt this whole side plate. So that's a metal strap welded to the pan, put in place, got it all done, welded up on the body to replace the where it was rotted out. So I got to come back in and grind this weld down that's along the bottom of the seam. Weld that down, and then this will fit up in there real good. Once I get that done, I'll sit back here somewhere and I'll put that in with it bolted into place and down low enough where it clears, and I'll weld that other bar in against the body and then pull it all back off and finish weld it. Steering wheel, got that little cutout in there. I'm 6'4", so a little bit of room to get in, makes it easy. But that's the seats I went with. You can see they got the cutouts for the 5-point harness, which it'll just come from here and it'll tie into this bar right here to go through for the shoulder harness. And of course, there's plenty of adjustment. The seat slides forward, slides back, leans up. I mean, you can see it goes way up, so my daughter can drive it. And best part is, once it's in, just slide it all the way back, and it's set for me. Sitting behind the wheel, you can see there's enough room. It's not like just a super amount, but my legs I got a 36-inch inseam. Like I said, I'm tall, and there's still plenty of room. Cool thing, steering wheel, like I said, is just temporarily kind of bolted in place. But I went with the quick release on it. I can do it with one hand. Boom, steering wheel comes off. That's all you need. It's about extra safety feature, or not safety, but security. Trying to get it back on with one hand is not the easiest thing in the world. Doesn't go on real easy with one hand. Oh, there it is right there. See if we can get that put back into place. And rotate the collar, locks in place. Boom, steering wheel on. Take it on off, so wherever I go somewhere and worried about any problems, cars are easy to break into, but a little harder to steer when you don't have a steering wheel. So I can just take the steering wheel off and take it with me. Small, so it's not super huge, but it does steer pretty easy when she was doing it. Not bad. I have no idea. I don't remember the brand of the steering wheel. It's just something I got off eBay. Of course, the horn works somehow. I don't remember how it does. It connects in the back and makes contact, and then it's got a little horn button. That's what that hooks up to. And on the inside, it does its thing. So, getting a little progress made. Plenty of. It'd be nice when the sunroof is put back in, I should say. There's still room. You can see where there's enough room. You can still get to that. Shifter's gonna be right here. Be easy to get to everything. Doors are all still got a long ways to go. Got to put all the linkage and everything back in that door. All the windows and a new windshield. I don't have a windshield. That's the only piece of glass I don't have because it was cracked when I bought the car. So I need to replace that. But as you can see, driving down the road, be able to see all the gauges pretty easy. I don't know if it's kind of hard to tell from here. The camera makes it look weird, but when I'm looking down from about right here, I got it where I can see all the gauges pretty easy. The steering wheel's right in between. That's really kind of the view you have right there when you're going down the road. So it's not too bad. Put the fuel gauge up here somewhere. Oil pressure, whatever. Got the tach and speedometer's all one thing. It's digital. All those holes are pre-cut, ready to go. Just got to stuff gauges in there, do some things. Of course, like I said, put the radio in. Put a CB. It's going to hang right here for off-roading when I take it places and do stuff. And there's enough room. There's plenty of room. Well, the seats are very comfortable. I don't remember what brand they are either, but getting in and out's easy. Even for my height, there's enough room. It doesn't look like a lot of room there, but it's fairly easy to get in and out with the seat setting low. Of course, you can see there's a lot of headroom. My head's up here, so definitely got to put some padding on the bars. But that's all. It's all par for the course. Not a big deal. But that'll be on today's ticket. Finish welding that up, get it bolted into place, weld it into place, get it set up, get it done. Not too bad. We're making it. Making some progress. I like it. Put a little bit more air in the tires. They were low. Of course, it's been sitting for 3 years, so got those all aired back up. But I'm pretty happy with the way the sidebar turned out. Back here it's welded into the corner good. Not sure if I'm going to finish welding. I got to put a few beads here just to kind of stiffen it up right underneath that brace. And I'll probably weld up under each bolt. Put a bead or two just to help make it sturdy. A little more sturdy tied in. I mean, you can't take it off now. These welds, it looks not all that great, but I may go back and clean that up some. It's welded to the body. To the body and to the pan, so it should provide some good, side impact. It's not going to come loose. It ain't going anywhere. And then a little bit more body work to do along the front. Finish getting a little bit more painting done on it. Primering it up, ready for paint, I should say. Getting the body work finished up the rest of the way. Let's see what else. That's about it. That's really all I've kind of done lately. So I got to take the seat back out, which is pretty easy to do. It's just 4 bolts. Unbolt that, pull it out, get the seat out. Steering wheel takes 2 seconds. Pop the steering wheel out, and I'll cover that up with a bag just to keep stuff from getting on it. Run it all back apart and be ready to clean. Steering column will just pop right back out. It's pretty easy to do. Just one nut. Once you take all that quick connect out, it does leave a little bit of a gap in there, but I've got a piece for that. And it's the factory piece. It'll bolt in between, and that'll fill that gap right up. Oop, never see it. So we'll cover it up. I'll repaint that part. Still got all the transmission parts and stuff I got to put in there to connect the shifter up, and get the hood latches and all that stuff. I got the end caps that go inside the bumper. Keep it all done. And you see the guard dogs are on duty again. It's the seats I took out of it. They were in it. These two, they love sleeping in here. That's their favorite spot to be. And of course, all the back, the shifter. So got a ways to go. I think on the side here, under the hood. Once I get that all put into place, like I said before, I'm gonna weld something across here, clean that up, and that'll help everything drain right off. So when it does rain, water gets in here, catches in the channel, and it'll just dump right off the side. And I got to get covers somehow that I'm gonna put in here just so if it get a little bit extra spray or from the front end coming up, it keeps everything running off. I made some fiberglass pieces, and you see they're right here. That was my first kind of attempt, and they were gonna sit up. They were gonna sit up here. I had cut this channel out and wasn't real happy with the way that turned, so I welded it all back in and ground it out, cleaned it up. And I think I'm gonna make it where it actually goes under it somehow. And I have metal ones too, and they were a pain to do, cutting metal, and didn't really like the way they look. So I still gotta figure something out with that just to cover this, to help it keep a little nice. But like I said, I think I'm gonna make it go underneath the channel somehow and then come up. I'll figure that part out. That's on down the road a little ways. I'll make something. So these were just really my first attempt at fiberglass type making my own panels, and it worked out. I mean, they're okay. They just not the plan anymore. Of course, changes. Shocks. And the rest. So wiring will have to come out through here and go for the headlights. And then I'll have a wire that'll come up into here to the front turn signals. They'll pop up here for the turn signal somehow. We're gonna drill it. And I think I'll fiberglass some tubing through here and put the wires through it, and I'll just glass it on so it stays nice and protected. Same thing on the back. I think I'll have it come out. It's got the hole up here for wiring to come through the rear firewall. I'll cut one out on the other side as well, and I'll just bring it straight down through here, kind of glass it up, put a little bit of fiberglass in here and cover the wiring, using some of that plastic conduit stuff that wire wrap that you put on stuff all the time. You get, put it in there. You can kind of see the back now. Looks a little better when it's not so dark. There's the fuel door catch. You just reach up under here and pull that. Gas door opens up. You can see it. It operates the little handle so that the door opens. So with the top on everything, nobody will know it except for everybody on YouTube that watches this now knows how to open it. It's not a big secret. I thought that was kind of cool. Just kind of keep things out of the way, keeps it cleaned up, leaves the door on there, makes it where it's not easily accessible if you're not really sure where to look. But quite a bit to go. Making a little bit of progress though. Biggest thing, happy with that sidebar. I think it turned out pretty good. The ones that came on it were real. Actually, they're over here. They're scrap, and I've cut them up. They're pretty chintzy. You can see I cut them a little bit, but that's the little bitty sidebars. They were small, and the doors hit it, and I was going to use part of those to make something, and I don't know. I just didn't work out really like I wanted. So we're making progress. We're getting somewhere. Not going to be much longer, and I'll be done with most of the fabrication. So that'll be good. As you can see where these bolt in. That hole is threaded. It's got a nut in there, so bolt 5/16 bolt just goes in there, holds it all into place. Bolts in pretty heavy. It's not going. It's pretty sturdy. You can see a little side plate, so it comes in right here, it angles down. This stuff is really braced up. The body's really braced up good. I think I probably went overboard more than it really needs, and I wasn't really trying to brace it or make it real special or fancy, but this seemed to be what worked out at the time. Inside needs a lot of cleaning done. Of course, it's going to get tons of Bondo dust and everything else once I do the finishing on the body and start getting everything put into place. A little bit more fiberglassing in the front. Bondo glass, I should say, that I used to cover. I think Bondo glass works better than regular Bondo. It's got the fibers in it, so it seems to be a little sturdier. That's how I did the fenders. And you can tell they're, there's no seam, no nothing. They're very sturdy. They're better than a regular bolt-in, but they bolt in, so I put the bars, the bolts in there, welded from the inside, and then those nylock nuts go on there all the way around, so they're completely bolted in, and then fiberglassed the whole apart, laid some mat in there, and then went back over got that all put into place real good, and then went back over and body glass that in some. Welded on these little panels on the inside. Something when they took it off, they'd cut it a little too far. So you can see I've got that welded seam here. So I cut this piece, bent it, made my bracket for the rear tail thing that goes on, and it's bolted. Nuts are welded into place. Of course, these are too. They come out. That's a bolt. I'll just have a bolt with a washer. It goes in pretty far. I drilled through. So they go on down in there. Got that in each place to hold that, that little tail that's sitting up on that shelf. Hold that in, help direct air down to the engine, help keep it a little bit cooler, I guess. Which is sitting right there. You can see it's got a long ways to go still. Quite a bit of work left to do on it. It did run, but you know, it's been sitting in that spot for 3 years, so who knows? Find out. But that's it. Later on tonight, I'll weld this other bar up, get it bolted into place and fabricated, have it looking good. Between the Bondo dust and the, for those of you that don't live in the South, we don't get snow very often, but every year we get pollen. Yeah, that's what it does. It snows pollen, so it gets all over your vehicles everywhere. Comes over everything. So for now, anytime I go somewhere or do anything with the kids, Subzilla, it's my 86 Suburban. It's got quite a bit of ways to go on it as well. Still got some work to do on it. Sitting on 37s. Did the full lift kit, all that kind of stuff. Put a 4L80E transmission in it. 496 big block. It's got a lot. It's got a lot of ways to go. The good part on it, since I'll show you. I like gauges, and you'll be able to tell. I did this one, so I redid the instrument cluster on it as well. It's got all of its gauges, so I did the same thing. Made a dash for it, put it all together. It's got the speedo, the tach, wideband, vacuum gauge, water temp, oil pressure, tranny temp, voltage, fuel, all that stuff. So the controller down there for the 4L80E transmission, brake controller, shifter. It's got a ways to go, but it works. Unlike this one, where it just kind of sits, doesn't go anywhere yet, but it's getting there. And got the welder sitting out, plasma cutter down there for when I cut all that part out. It's nice to have that little Colossal Tech. I think it was a couple $100 off of eBay. Little Cut 50, yeah, Cut 50F. Thing works great. It has paid for itself tons of times. I've used it so much. Just buy the consumables for the tip down there. You just put new ones in there and boom, it works. Little Lincoln 180 HD. Got the tank that sits on the back. That was pretty good. Wired it in, so I do have to unplug the air compressor and plug it back in every time I use it, but that's how it goes. Only got a 50 amp. It's on a 50 amp circuit. I could probably run both and do whatever, but it works the way it is. I keep it going, managing to do what I need to do. Anyway, that's it. Got to go do some shopping, get some stuff going, and then come back home and pull the seat out and get to work. You can see there's plenty of room. The seat actually does lean back more. It comes back to the bar, but you know, the tank's going to be right here, so it doesn't come back that far anyway. But it's pretty comfortable. You can slide it forward and lean it back a little more if you need to. If you're on a long trip and your back was hurting, you could lean it back some. But I don't think I'm going to be taking too long of a trips on this. Maybe one day. We'll see. But the seat is, I love it. I don't remember what the brand was. I really don't. It's been way too long, but I do like the red and black. Of course, this is the red and black, matches the steering wheel. Car, as you can tell, is going to be red and black. I'm not real sure exactly what the paint scheme is going to be. Paint it red, and I think I'm going to do black up across here, kind of curving around, or straight up here, and then the tail part will be black and red, and then on the hood, these will be black, pinstriped in, black and red, and then I may do black along the front. Maybe the front fenders will be black and just kind of run a, I'm not real sure how I'm going to do all that yet. You can kind of imagine that. Maybe you guys have some ideas. I don't know. I'm always open for anything. I think I'll leave the bumpers and the sidebar and then the rear bumper cage I'll leave red. And then there'll be black there, so it'll make it pop. It'll look kind of cool, I guess. You know, have red bumpers and the bottom of the body will be black. Might leave the front fenders red. May do them black. I'm not real sure how I'm going to tie all that in yet. Not positive. That's a ways off, as you can tell. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. See you guys later.